Okay.
Okay. Do I need to say this again?
Yes.
I approve the minutes to the last meeting.
I second.
Okay. We got that. Now, we gotta talk about this ordinance. We didn't find anything that you questioned at all, right?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you get that last part that he changed about the cars? That she sent that message?
I think I did. If it was sent through, then I did get it. I
No,
thought
that wasn't on.
I thought the change was that we could hire somebody just to pull it out of here instead of having to go through the court. We no longer have to go through the court. We could just have it towed, and then they would be billed for the costs.
Yes.
And I think that's what, and if that was a change, I'm okay with that.
And he just voiced that. I think he was just explaining.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is just a printed copy, so yay or nay. Sign on your line.
Okay. Okay. So where are we on the meter installations? Do we have a count yet?
Still waiting on parts for.
Nothing's come in yet.
How long do you think that'll take? Any idea on that?
No, I'm really surprised we don't have. I think a few things have showed up, but Bryce, the guy that's been helping us, I talked to him, so he's as soon as they're here, he's ready to help us. Try to jump in there and get the rest of it done quickly.
And I know they got those new antennas. It'd be smart to put the antennas on those before they go in.
Yeah, we'll do them. We'll change the antennas on the new ones as we install them, and then go back there and change them.
Probably smart. I mean, do them as you go.
Okay, what about the fire hydrant at Glade Plumbing?
We're at
Grade
ordered parts, waiting on parts.
parts, okay.
So we have some money left, and we have some I&I repairs to do that are pretty. I mean, they're not big time. Like it's a lot of yard drains or clean outs, or some of them are even downspouts that we need to, have people get them off the sewer. I mean, we got a book that shows everyone's got a photo of it. We kind of, at one point we saved like $40,000. I don't think so. It can't come even close to that to do them. So, kind of down to what do you guys want to do with the rest of your money?
I've turned in the request for the second invoice that we owed you guys.
Yeah.
I got a response yesterday that I sent it in the wrong format,
What that means.
whatever that means. So I sent it again today, and I got a response that they didn't get the documentation, but they didn't get everything. They got the application, but they didn't get any supporting documentation.
Whatever it gets out.
So I sent that again. I also requested to pay for the antennas, and I haven't heard from that either.
How much was that bill?
The antennas, $10,500. Yeah,
It'd be nice to be able to
$10,500.
pay that too. I mean, because I think we'll have some money out of that for easy. But I think they're like 55 or 58,000 left or something.
Well, that was what it was, but Adam said
I
there
showed
was still things
68.
that needed to be taken off of there with some of the stuff that you.
From what I've turned in, I show we have a remaining balance of 68.
The last couple of weeks we've had, after we fixed more leaks and more leaks. I mean, the internet guys or the board crews, they have just left nicks after nick.
What about that too that went through the sewer up here at the school? Who do we need to get a hold of that to get those two lines that's going running right through the sewer?
I've heard that.
They talked about it at the last meeting. They had, yeah,
Where they cambered it.
yeah, they cambered it. They had those lines that went right through the sewer up there by the school.
Probably need to reach out to them because it's their line. They're gonna wanna get it out of the sewer line, obviously.
That was a fiber line, wasn't it?
I know
Yeah,
that there were two. There was two. Looked like two of them went through the.
we write that down so I don't forget it.
It would have had to been the school, right?
Yeah, it was up close to the school.
Yeah, it was right there. I don't
So
know
it's
about
They
it.
pinpointed it was like right. I mean the gym
It's an
area.
8-inch line too, though. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's their 8-inch drain.
Yeah, it was the main.
I don't know if it's our main or theirs. I guess it don't matter. They
Yeah.
gotta fix it. We had a 1-inch gas line going through sewer main once too.
Oh,
We trying to saw cut the line.
Hmm.
The joint was offset and it wouldn't let us do it, so we TV'd it, see it. So we about from here to the door from saw cutting right through that 1-inch gas main. It might have been bigger, it might have been 2.
oops. Okay, and Jeff says the water usage is down a little bit, but we're still losing some.
Well, we're about it. We've been running around 100, 102, and then every third or fourth day we jump to 135, and then it goes right back down to 102. I don't know if that's due with the fill cycle. I can't really tell on the chart, or if
We
somebody uses
do
that water.
get a lot of complaints of the water tower overflowing, and then it's not. So why would that be?
Unless it's not getting the signal down there to tell it to shut off, or
And-
so, is it interrupted or something?
And one of the times I saw it myself. I mean, just
How hard's
gushing,
it coming out of there?
gushing. Not like you're flushing a fire hydrant or worse. I mean, it's just gushing.
One day you called us and told us that would come down there, and wasn't nothing coming out of it.
I know.
Well, it's been multiple days, because I reported it a couple different times, and the same thing.
And a couple
Well,
of
I
bites.
checked it, and there's nothing.
Let's change the set point to a half foot lower and see if it.
I mean, it is and then it isn't. And
That's a lot of water. You know, if it's doing it quite often.
There's church down here on 4th Street.
groundwater,
That is that coming up from their a pump,
they,
some pump or something.
they have changed the way that they have it rigged. They now have some pipe, so most of it goes through the pipe to the ditch. But
I figured it had to be at the amount of water that's coming out of that. And it was a lot of water.
and I complained down here at the Cornerstone Church.
Mhm.
They've checked it multiple times, and
They
it's
just stayed
I figured
wet
it had to be-
forever.
Yeah, I figured it had to be a sump pump. 'Cause I just go past there, it's like bubbling, all over the place.
Yeah.
But
Just why they hooked to the sewer.
And also up there on the cross country, the track up there by there's a ditch beside the track. And my brother told me during the 90-degree weather, it never dried up. Everything else did, but not that.
That right behind the lodge.
It's right yeah, I guess it would be up behind the lodge. And whatever it's doing, it was flooding the track, and it was dry out. So he's wanting to dam that ditch because there's still water going through it. I mean, now there is, but when it was dry.
we've had so much rain, unusually that by now everything would be dried out, and you can tell. But it's been raining so much.
Exactly.
I think there's still a spot field down there where the crows complain about that's wet, but it's hard to tell with the rain we're getting. It was just collecting water there.
We're gonna surely have a dry period. Maybe not.
I thought we
So,
don't have
do you
one.
know, so where are they getting that water from? Do you know what meter or?
yes, it's right there in front of the lodge. There's
So-
a meter for the lodge and a meter for the track right there side by side.
So it sounds, so so the water leaks beyond the meter.
It's the cross country track. You know where the well, I guess it would be probably 100 yards behind the lodge.
Yeah, but that's.
It's kind of up in the woods.
That's the,
The line probably cuts across there though. So
Yeah.
if the meter's there, it cuts towards the track, or towards like the building back there, is probably where the water goes. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's past the meter.
It goes to the bathroom or the concession
I mean,
stand.
we can look at the meter and see if it's spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is at least. Have them get
Yeah.
fixed.
And probably nobody.
That one's the-
Unless it's a
Check it.
main, I don't know.
The
None
lodge
of them
and-
dig
Now, there's
back.
a ditch. There's a ditch that goes on this side along the highway. I'm guessing the other one comes off and goes north to south.
It's right there with the old co-op.
Yeah.
and the lodge meets.
And I mean, it's possible the main goes through there going down the highway further, but
I don't even know if it's a leak. It was dry out, and he was complaining about being flooded.
You know, that's right there, that manhole.
Worth checking.
It comes out of the concession stand that we fixed. Remember how bad it rained? It rained really bad. We haven't had flows at the wastewater plant since that's been fixed. So I think, you know, the goose pond ain't too far away.
oh yeah, that's kind of where it flow that way.
But if I can
Yeah.
find where you're talking about, we can test it, see if it's gonna work. At least tell them.
Well, the lodge shows is changed, but the
The track is not.
doesn't show the track has changed. It looks like it's a bigger meter, but that's pulled out. So it makes me think it has been changed.
What's pulled out?
The picture that they have loaded is
The old meter.
the old meter. That maybe I'm gonna put in because it was all zeros and ones.
Well, give me 1 second.
Look like a new meter, though.
Or-
No,
Two.
it's,
That's not, it's not.
No, it's
That's
not.
not, yeah, that's not. Is that bigger than, is that a 1 inch or?
it looks,
Say in the description. That's where,
It's
right
been
across the
changed.
tracks. Brick building on
No,
the
no,
left.
that's the portable
That's for the-
unit. Never mind.
This is the,
lodge?
no, this is the track meter.
I
So it
don't,
shows Bryce out there on 620.
I don't have
You didn't
a
take a picture of the
record
new
for that
meter,
one.
did
No. I'm sorry, do what?
I don't have a record for that one. I got one
See,
for
this is
the one at the gym and
where we're at.
the one at the
this is where
portable
it's at.
units.
This is the track. This is where the meters are at.
Yeah. So where's he saying that the water leak?
Going north to south, there's a ditch that should run
Right.
along the heading north.
That ditch.
Is there water main back there?
No, shouldn't be. So this is the lodge here.
Mhm.
You're talking about this ditch that runs into here and down.
Well, they run, I think, around the field here, right?
Yeah, it's just
So it'd be back in here.
back in there, right down there, right around there somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, it may be nothing, but
This is the lodge here. This is what he's talking about back here. Somewhere in this ditch. Where I'd say it runs over.
Like behind the softball field, and say,
Runs over the ditch and this big ditch goes down. To the railroad track. Back in here somewhere.
it could be nothing but the water standing there dry.
it's
The
possible
one
where,
at the track
where the
is
school
not
though
been
is,
changed.
I think there's a
Maybe
ditch
there's
along
one.
between the highway
Okay.
and soccer field, and it just say it's leaking on that main somewhere. It would go down that ditch, going back north.
They may have water running to a building or something.
I
Are
don't
there
think the
bathrooms or
town,
anything back there?
No, there's nothing back there. That's why I said it may not be nothing, but it's something. All I was thinking
worth
was something.
looking at.
Yeah,
But it could be secret.
This time of year. Or this year,
Yeah. Every week you're getting a couple good rains.
Exactly.
sounds like we're about to get one right now.
What was,
every
The
day.
hydrant at Graves, you were waiting on parts, is that right?
And what's your suggestion for the grant money? What can we get the most bang for our buck to get done what we've got left? What about that line that's gonna replace out there on the highway?
I think that's definitely should be.
Yeah.
Got enough money to change that. That thing has just been.
I know we talked about it and it needed done. A main out there on the highway that keeps breaking apart.
Yeah,
I wish we had enough money to take off down Base Road and change that to a 3-inch line.
Yeah,
What's
run
that
out of
gonna
money?
cost to do that?
just around
A lot, but
I mean, I think it'd be pretty easy change out. But, you know, as you go down there, don't forget, put it in, then you got to tap everybody's
yeah.
meter right into it. It's not as easy as just laying it.
How many houses are down through there?
oh, there's a
There's
bunch now.
26
Or if you did it in
Well,
sections,
Where,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even if you took off,
like half a mile at a time.
yeah, and just because then you're getting volume to those people.
It'll help the rest down the line.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Mhm.
It's just going to be more volume in the ground.
Yeah.
When people are drawing off it on the end line.
Still hold on further at the
The
end.
3-inch holds a lot more too.
Yeah.
People sometimes think it's only an inch more, but it's quite a bit more. So. And I mean, even worth looking at the difference in price from 3-inch to 4-inch, if it's not a lot, but 4-inch line. Because there's a lot of room for development out in the country if somebody ever wanted to,
well, we've got one building.
I'm talking about like somebody would put in. They keep saying this
He's wanting to.
crazy stuff over Crane's gonna go. I mean, they're talking about building a 250,000 gallon per day water plant. You know, you've got the ammunition
Mr. Heiss
place
is on that.
supposed to be going for sure.
They got a block on hiring right now.
You're trying to get us a ballpark of what we're looking at.
Can you figure up some quotes on that stuff? Maybe 3-inch and 4-inch, maybe doing half mile. Just a couple of variations on that. See what.
And where would you be thinking, starting from Jay's
Start from the
going
front
down?
and then just start working down, and you do the front first.
A lot of
Jay's
that's-
on down? That way?
probably not.
I think I just did a 12 or 1,500 foot quote for 3-inch water line in B&B water. But it's a little tougher spot than that would be. I think the parts were 10,000, 11,000, but that was adding the flush hydrants and other stuff like some of that blows it up.
Half mile will be double for the pipe and parts. Looking at 20 grand just for the pipe probably. Not doing the meters and tapping into all that.
Yeah,
And
but
what-
I mean, you can do tap as you go too, and put it in. Most of those be, just by a tapping saddle. And when you get close to a meter, you just go ahead and tap it, and then come back and you just switch it over when you get, because you gotta fill full water.
Oh yeah, I should say, yeah.
You gotta get your chlorine
Go and tap
test.
the new line and then,
But we need a quote on the one on the highway first, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
make it both, do both.
yeah, we'll get you like, I'll do a quote
Two
for
or three and a four,
$1,000
yeah.
or 1,000 feet,
Mhm.
and we'll just,
Like I said, if you get the volume up front, it's just gonna help carry out, like you said, further down the line, even if it does get smaller, because the volume will be there where it starts.
It'd help out a little bit.
Yeah, it'll help.
if we get back to 70,000 gallons a day, just really help you guys. It's a lot of money.
There's
Just
a lot of money.
Huh?
It is a lot of money.
Yeah, and that money you can go in your bank to put in your war chest and do lines like
Exactly. And are we all right at the sewer plant as far as volume? Well, I don't know what all we're gonna have.
that. Yeah,
Mhm.
and the new meter's showing us how bad the old meter was. We're still got, I haven't seen last month's MRO. But we've been doing pretty good, really.
And what is MRO?
Monthly report of operation that we send to the state.
Oh, I started to say, is that something I need to get you?
No, but we keep a copy out there. We probably ought to start keeping a copy in here for you guys to look at
I
for
wouldn't mind
our
seeing
water,
it.
our water MRO and our sewer MRO. And I can show you what you're looking at. Tell you about what's violations and what aren't violations.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, it is interesting, because then you can see, like, when it rains, how much your flow jumps. And so
Oh, yeah.
rain falls on there with it, you go, oh, so it went from 20,000 gallons a day to 55 during a rain event, which is some of these
Yeah,
I&I places. You know, the whole goal of this money that you got is trying to get all that stuff down. We've had, Alliance has been down here with us, we've listened, we've looked, we just can't find that one, you got one leak we can't find.
I mean,
That's
hopefully,
had before.
hopefully it's that water tower. That might be some of it. If, like I said, maybe you can level it down a little
Yeah.
bit. And hopefully, I mean, that's some of it. Not someone's pretty sneaky and they're only taking water at night.
It's
And
a lot
a
of
whole
water.
lot of it.
I don't, that's too much water. I mean, still 30,000 gallons of water. But if you were like, but it can't be ponds this year.
Yeah.
Because ponds aren't waiting, they don't need water this
No.
year. So it ain't to fill up the pond. You know, and I drive around and I, you know, look at ponds sometimes when it's dry and you see, you know,
They're full.
all these ponds are a foot low, and then all of a sudden this guy's is full. We caught a guy in Ellisville. He had about, I don't know, it's pretty good size goose pond. Had a bunch of geese and stuff in it and swans. It never was empty. I mean, one year we had a drought and that thing was plumb full.
I think that clean water would be good for the wildlife in it, but
I don't think it hurt the ducks and the
no,
swans, but
the fish and the algae and
the fish might not like it.
Okay. Well, that's all I've got. You got anything?
Do I have anything?
You said something about Adam said we need to try to maybe apply for another grant or another.
No,
Hey, did you get any FEMA money?
no.
At least Green County was. You met with a representative, didn't you?
No, I turned in the paperwork, and the day that they came, I got like a 2-hour notice that they were here, and I was out of town. So they were supposed to email me what they needed, and I never got it.
Does the money go to the county? Talk to anybody there? Who do we talk to?
Mr. Grace?
Probably Sherry Lewis. She's a interim EMA director.
It might be worth an email.
I'll ask her. I'll call her.
What was funny to me is every county got money.
We usually,
except
I mean,
Monroe
we
County.
got some, it wasn't much one time, but we did
You
get something.
think there's something to that?
there's something to that.
It could have, because they're a blue dot in a red state. No, I'm serious. I mean,
No, I agree with you. I agree.
because they got hit hard by a tornado.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
really hard. That tornado that went through here,
Right, yeah.
it went right through Salt Creek, and I mean, it did some damage.
It
I
wasn't. a
noticed they
grant,
got
it
left
was
off the
a
list.
loan, right?
Do what?
He was wanting us to try to get another loan.
A loan.
Yeah,
Not,
I said
not,
it wrong.
not a grant.
Yeah, I know, I said it wrong.
He said it now would be the time because our name is fresh on their minds, basically. And they've reviewed, Dr. Isley's talked with them and said that we would most likely get moved up because they were aware of everything that was going on.
For another grant. Or
A loan.
A loan. You gotta pay that back.
Yeah, and is that one of the ones we have to have a matching one?
I don't know.
That might make a difference. And when we apply for anything like that, we never get any, you know, we don't get too far with it, but whatever. But, I mean, if you guys think it's a good thing to try to do something like that, but I mean, if we're gotta have a match matching funds, we may be in, you know where.
We need a loan for something. Anything on your, that you see that we need?
I think your sewer system's in great shape. All your pumps, station, except that one, have all new pumps. And that one don't pump a lot, so it's still working fine. You know, we fixed your infrastructure out there. Your water's really where we need to get things changed. I mean, you could look at how much that water line to replace it. Say we get this all taken care of here, up here. I don't really know any other part of your infrastructure that needs replaced.
Definitely this line. If we got a big leak somewhere, but we don't know where it's at.
And that could not be anything,
Yeah.
have anything to do with bad line. It
Yeah.
just felt broke apart or something, but
Maybe you get us the estimates for that. And
yeah. So I don't, what's $200,000 or something, due to your rates.
That's right, that's, I mean,
I can tell you pretty quick. Or give you a rough guess. Which obviously you bid that job out. If he's gonna do the whole thing, get a loan, you just bid it out. Best man wins.
what size meter do they put in down there for Rick's stuff? You know?
4 or 6. Pretty big.
Really?
Big enough to expand out in there.
Well, I meant down here,
No, right here.
business, here in town.
Oh, I don't know. Adam and Grant have been paying attention.
And they just put in a single meter for the three businesses. They put in 3
Just
meters.
one. And
Just one.
She owns all of it.
you know, the gas station, we did ice cream parlor and.
All I know is they put the footers in, and they were supposed to put the sewer line in first. They didn't do it. I don't think it's gonna matter, but I wasn't very happy about it. I told you on the phone, you need to get your sewer made. Right now, they got their footer over your sewer. What am I looking at?
That's what. Joe Green's for.
Yeah, but that's pipe.
This is sewer pipe.
It's 4-inch PVC pipe. Yeah. Oh, looks like, well, they've got some 6-inch too. But I don't know if that's pipe. Is this a brass saddle? What's this for, Dan? Where's this at?
So they're putting that new business in.
Oh, yeah, I don't. There's just one setter. 1 quart. Just 1 meter.
Yeah, I was just curious how that was gonna work. Been better for us if they had 3 meters in there for 3 businesses, but
Yeah.
Well, one of the businesses, 2 of them, we're not sure anything's going on at the moment.
265 people. Customers.
Us?
Yeah.
No,
So
365.
65?
I thought you said 265.
No, 365.
Yeah.
So $200,000 at 3.5% interest over 20 years is $3.30 per customer. So about for every $100,000, it's like $1.60.
do you think
Per customer.
$200,000 would cover that, doing that?
I cover a bunch of it. I don't know how much. I think we didn't Rick Coffey do a cost estimate.
I thought we had something on that, but I'm not sure.
We could do, like, so we could get
That was
I
several.
don't even know how many I need. I'll just drive it when I leave and see how long it is. Actually, I don't have to do that. I'll have Connor pull it up on GIS tomorrow and
Does the line go past where the last meter is on that, or does it just stop where the last meter's at, or they run it further down the line?
It loops all the way
It
around.
loops.
Oh, it looks,
So
I mean, would we-
where's it
could we-
start 2 inch at the highway?
2-inch starts about right across from Jay English's shop. It goes from 4-inch to 2-inch and right in through there on the east side of Jay's shop. English off road.
And it runs all the way
So
down to
right
Jones.
there, we could hook on there and start and go.
And all the way
So
down to
four-
Jones.
And see, that's one of the ones, Sykes is right there, that's the one that complained a lot, so
2.5, 3.
I had a question
So
and I
it's
lost
Because
it.
it's 150 west is at the River Bridge,
So it's
and Jay's Road is 375 west.
So 2.25.
So it's
Bad, doesn't it?
2.25 mile plus north from base zigzags, so 2.5 mile, 2.5, 3
It's like
miles.
275 and 375 means something.
A
Yeah,
mile.
150 is 1.5 miles west of Bloomfield, town baseline. Jay's is 375 west, so it's 3.25 mile from base road to Bloomfield. So
I did
each
not
county
know.
road
Every
is
county
miles.
road.
Every 100 is a mile.
Yeah,
And
I
if
did,
it's like 75 and 25, and it's half a mile.
I did not know that's why they were named that
And
way.
north
I learned
south same
something
way.
today.
See,
North south
you're
same
never
way.
too old to learn.
So
There
you're
you go.
saying about 2.5 miles.
Yes. 2.5,
I
2.25.
had that
So
question
that's-
in my head and I can't remember what it was.
13,000 feet.
I wrote it down.
260 is a mile, right?
Yeah, 52, 60.
Oh.
I'll remember it when I get home.
Okay, while he's calculating, I'm gonna move on.
Go on. Have at
There
it.
were 4 customers disconnected for non-payment.
$2.24
Of those
I paid.
have paid and are turned back on.
for a 3-inch pipe.
324
Fourth one,
or 224.
I believe the house is.
So you're
empty,
like
and believe
25 or
the house has
$30,000
been
in
empty
pipe.
for several months. They just
Okay.
never came in and asked us to shut off.
You close.
Okay.
That's the update on that.
You know, we could always put that project together and just you can get bids on it. Then you'll know where you stand.
Yeah. It'd probably be good to do that just to get an idea.
Yeah.
Might be able to do it, might not be able to do it, but
Yeah.
just at least to know.
So at 3.5% interest on $100,000, it cost each customer about $1.60.
Mhm.
So that just gives you a number for you to work out in your head to say, okay. I'm sure I'm missing some soft cost in there somewhere that. So if you just use $2 per $100,000, you'd be real close.
Yeah.
For anything you need to do. I hate telling somebody something.
Well, I know there's
Do it
times
twice.
in each year that it's best to start applying for those because you try to get your name first on the list. So I didn't know if that was something that we needed to address right now or just let it go, but we'll just wait and see what,
Well, the longer we wait,
how hard it's gonna be for us.
Well, I don't know, maybe we do it,
Payback either.
and if we can get that in that, to get baseline road done, to do it, it's my opinion. People been complaining about, and they deserve to have water pressure just same as everybody else does, so. Just my opinion.
You go to 300 or 30 years, it really knocks it down. It goes down to about 900. Yeah, you'll pay back 323. I would never do it 30 years. It's not too bad.
I'm gonna suggest that Levi finances the whole project and
Yeah.
You can vote on it. I know you got one no vote right already.
It only takes 2 out of the 3 though to
Yeah,
vote
I
yay.
know, yeah.
We could sabotage him there, Larry. Well, it's, it's not gonna get any better, we know that.
No, and we may not get the loan, we maybe we'll get the loan, but may try to put in for it, see if we can get a loan. And maybe it'll work out, and like I said, he can put together what it's gonna cost us, and we'll have an idea, get some bids. And then we know if it's something we can do,
I'd be surprised that you can't,
yeah.
that you wouldn't be able to get a loan for, through SRF. Especially if you're not asking for them to give you any kind of grant. So what would really be nice is if you could get an SRF grant where you only had to have a 30% match. And then you could do, so if you could do, so $6 would get you $300,000. So if you had $1 million, if you did, if there, let's say you needed $1 million, which I don't think you do, but so for $6, you could get $1 million worth of work done in your town.
Yeah.
For $6. Now I'm sure I'm off 50 cents somewhere, but and that's on a 20-year loan.
Yeah.
So you know how much you got left on your last one? Do you have any clue about any of the loans?
Balances. No.
Yeah. And sometimes what you can do is wrap your loans in
Roll
and get them consolidated and
We
get
have
the price down.
2, right?
You're surely not paying on the sewer loan still, are you? Is that a USDA loan, 4-year loan? You still paying sewer
I think we make 2 payments to Bank of New York.
twice a year or once a year?
I thought it was just for the water lines, or the water system.
I'm pretty sure you got a loan on your water system. You just did it like 10 years ago, right? Is that 10 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been longer than we think.
I wasn't on the
Brian
board.
wouldn't, I don't know if Brian would have even been on there. yet.
I'm so against these 40-year USDA loans. It just puts people down the road. Think about 40 years from now.
Something else breaks down, you can have double stack the loans and,
Well, stuff don't last 40 years.
Well, let's
Or-
put
or
it this
something
way,
new comes
I
up
ain't
that
gonna
you-
be
Yeah.
here then.
Now Laura's got a 50-year loan and a 40-year loan. That's like 50 years on your water plant?
no, it'll never last.
Never lasts.
You'll have to have multiple loans on the same.
Keeps the payment low. That's what they see. Probably.
That's what it's for. There's 200 customers there. So it's
Okay. Tammy has made a list of properties that needs some work done on them.
That was one, if we just went around and if we noticed something or if someone had to file a complaint and then we went and said something.
Enforcement officers are just supposed to drive around, look for stuff, but this is things that have been mentioned when people come in here.
are you guys done with me? Going back on.
I think so.
Did Lisa ever
Something comes
mow
up, you can
that?
always call me on the phone.
Did Lisa ever mow that? Yeah, the where they put the horses. Did she ever knock that down? I haven't been that way since
Who?
Lisa Mayfield.
She ain't gonna clean that.
Right.
I think we're done, Jeff.
Safe travels.
Yeah.
Okay, holler if you need me.
All
I'll tell
righty.
you, just, I wrote down a lot of stuff, so.
Okay.
About come see you. Hopefully it's me.
Tomorrow I have,
I didn't say first thing.
tomorrow I have grant stuff. Wednesday I have grant stuff. Thursday I have something else, Sam's. Rhonda Rumpel's gonna be after that.
But you'll be here. Okay.
I'm always here,
Oh,
even on Saturdays and Sundays sometimes.
one I was gonna add to that would be Mike Nelson's old property, or Mike Nelson's property. that
See
he
you
took
guys.
over
Above
from
the
Thank you.
stove.
Gary.
Yeah, but
That's
no,
still
no,
took
no.
it
Or to the
Huh?
left
You don't
of the
take it
stove.
over.
One
He
of the
didn't
two.
take it over, I thought he did.
No, it's good. That ain't. That's
And
him and
What we're
it's
talking
Gary and his
about-
brothers' property.
They told me that. wasn't
Lisa
that your
Millfield's
understanding that
property.
Mike took over Gary's.
She's got all
Nelson's old
those-
property?
No.
Oh,
That's Gary and his brothers.
oh.
But Mike does take care of it From time to time.
Mike helps
Nelson.
Yes,
with cleanup.
yes.
Well, it's grown up again.
Down at the corner.
Mhm.
Mhm. And Lisa Millfield's on here,
Yeah,
but she's got, and if we're gonna be hard, she's got those like horse corrals, and they've not been mowed at all.
Yeah,
Got 3 feet of weeds, and if you're gonna complain about the weeds, that whole thing would have to be mowed.
the complaint that is on here is that ditch.
I'm just saying though, if we're gonna start getting on people, that whole field is 3 feet tall.
and if it gets much bigger, then people aren't gonna be able to see the highway because
From, you know,
it's,
from her building all the way down, over, all the way back up the road, it's all 3 feet.
Well, and I'm just telling you what
Yeah.
people have
Yeah.
voiced in here.
Mhm.
So, it's up to you guys to
Mhm.
make your own determination.
I got no problems, but yeah, I'm just saying, if you're gonna get on her, she needs to mow that field too. I mean,
she
if you're-
had
if you're-
somebody
if you're gonna
mowing
be-
the yard,
If you're gonna
but
be fair.
Yeah.
And just saying for like the sawmill, I don't know who you send that to. They need to take care of that. I don't know if you can send that
Well,
out to somebody.
you guys have to take care of it. I'll take care of mailing it, but you have to take care of filling the forms out.
All right, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I know there was
Hmm?
so well.
and they kind of quit on the house over here too, didn't they?
Each one, yeah.
No, which one?
They come and go, I think.
Like,
Oh, I don't think
Make- make
it's not on here. Sawmill's not on this list, is it?
No, nobody's complained to me about the sawmill.
But
it's a nasty mess. So.
yeah, it's a mess too. So I'm just saying, yeah, if we're gonna get on some people, you know, if you complain to one of these people on this list,
I know,
they're gonna want everybody.
I know.
So I'm just saying, if
I know.
we're gonna get on this guy, you gotta get on everybody. And I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just saying, to be fair,
And I'm not, this is not
you-
my list.
yeah, some of these people told you
This
this.
is not
She just
my
put
list.
things down when she
Oh.
goes by and sees.
No,
She's the
something.
messenger.
Yeah, I agree with a
I
lot
can-
of this, so
I
I'm
can
not
make the
complaining.
list,
So I drive by and I see the same
But-
thing, and
but if I make the list,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are really gonna be swamped with reports to do and people to talk to. So. But I'm up and down every street in this town
Oh.
multiple times a week.
Mhm.
So my list would be very large.
well, I know
Did we get the house?
there's a lot of spots.
Did we get the house that we think we got squatters?
Yes,
Okay, which house is that?
383 Charlotte Avenue. But they've started, it appears they're remodeling.
it
on
it looks
that house.
better. It doesn't look good. It looks considerably better than what it has at sometimes.
Angie.
So-
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if they're squatters or if they're renting the place, I have
Yeah.
no idea. But
They've got power.
Yeah.
they have power,
That power.
I don't know
I
how
think,
they
yeah.
have power, but they have power. And
They took all the metal siding fence down around the place.
they've torn the front porch off of it,
Yeah.
so.
And we cannot, I mean, mix is impossible. We just, I don't know what the trailer's got to do with anything, but, you know, whatever.
He started a lawn mowing business.
Is that what he says? Oh, by the way, he was gonna run for town board.
Good luck.
It would be my place he'd be taking, I'm sure. And he wanted the ordinance job, and what else was it he wanted?
I don't remember. He wants to bid on mowing jobs.
He wanted the ordinance job,
Make
and
sure
I'm,
his place looks A1. Mowing.
well, he just mows around it.
Yeah. If his place looks sharp, then he can come back and put in a bid for some mowing jobs.
I don't know what the trailer's for.
I just told you.
Well, what would you need a trailer like that for lawnmowers? He can't mow his own yard.
He's got a pretty big mower right now that he's using on his yard and the neighbors. It's the same one we have.
Yeah, he mows regularly.
But he don't weed eat.
Doesn't weed eat.
I figured he was gonna bitch at me because I think my weed eater
Huh?
was on rough
Did
yesterday.
he say- I haven't seen it because the last I seen he hadn't weed eaten. But if he's done it, then I haven't seen it. I apologize.
Okay, when we changed water meters in 2008, maybe, there was an ordinance passed.
Oh, God.
If water meters are, if you damaged the meter and, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
there's things that we don't want you to do, and things that we consider to be damaged. That referenced radio read. Is that right? Touch read
Yeah.
meters. Touch read meters. We now have the radio read meters. So I rewrote that. But
Oh, okay.
we, this letter was sent out to everybody in, when we changed in '08. I rewrote that to match what we're doing now. And then this ordinance was what was passed in '08 to back that up. So, I retyped it to match the type of meters we have now.
Okay, so you need to make a motion?
Yep.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve the letter, ordinance letter. I haven't slept very well, I feel dippy today, more than normal. I need a second.
I'll second it. Now, my question is, are these meters, I know the old ones, that the thing was in the lid, right? These ones aren't as sensitive about the lid, though.
It will be,
Are they?
it will be.
I thought the antenna's not inside, or the antenna can go to the lid also.
The antenna, these new ones, my understanding, it will go to the lid. Maybe through the
I
lid.
think it'll be similar to what the black caps are now.
Oh, just sticking out the tops, okay. That'd probably make it read a lot better instead of being down in the hole, but I didn't know, I thought they were just taller down in the,
And I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
I haven't seen one, so I don't know what
He
they look
showed
like.
us one the last time he was here, but it's just, he's holding it, so.
I'm
I
putting
don't
on
know.
mine from this day forward, because it's
Okay.
already damaged mine.
Okay, but I don't know.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I still don't even have one.
Did you want to talk about the, tornado siren?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Have you heard any?
Here's,
I've not put anything together yet. I didn't get, we got called out. I didn't have a chance to talk to you last month. We've got the proposal. I'd like to solicit citizens, of town, and their close proximity to town, whether we add it to the water meter, an envelope for water meter, just one page request for donations. If you go through the town, be earmarked for tornado siren. It may take us a year, it may take us 2 years.
We've had people ask about
Where
it.
do you think we'd put that? Any idea on that, where it'd be located?
No. Whether it go here on a
Yeah.
utility pole,
Probably right here on the fire department with a tower.
I didn't know, it's pretty tall, pole,
Yeah, you'd have to have a pretty tall tower, some sort of tower like
whether
you got
either
over
that
there.
or
quite taller than that.
one over there close to the railroad.
Yeah,
I think middle of town would be the best place.
central location.
They're loud enough, you can hear lions.
No, yeah.
They're set off by the radio control from dispatch. I'll have a way to set it off manually. as needed as well.
And you say it's gonna be about 40,000?
42, 41, somewhere around there. So the longer it takes, the longer it's gonna cost.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
sure. But we've had a lot of people ask about it,
Yeah.
and since it's come that close this year. We're now in the area.
I was asked if it had been determined why ours malfunctioned at the last tornado.
Ours malfunctioned.
And I said, whose malfunction? The Switz Cities. I said, Switz Cities didn't malfunction, we don't have one. Oh. Ours didn't go off because we don't have one.
You didn't go around with your buckhorn all around town. That's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
Oh, and another, I was just thinking, this wasn't my question. The railroad, me and you discussed this. The railroad needs to knock the weeds down off the railroad tracks over here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's Jasonville or,
Well, add that to your list.
They used to do a real good job of that.
yeah, they used to go through this great.
And I don't mind to help with the paperwork for these. I don't mind at all. It's really not that big a deal.
but everything is pretty nice and, I mean, even the clothing center, they keep things, and that railroad weeds are just gonna get bigger and they actually need to fix the railroad track over there because that's
You
terrible.
get us some forms, we fill them out, and we'll go out one evening, we'll start handing them out.
You're not gonna get a good reception, I'm sure, but whatever, you can
That's
ask
all right.
Brian.
No, we'll leave them the
Well,
door.
this could be friendlier than get a letter from the court or something, with, to fine or whatever,
The letters come from us.
Yeah.
And Carla just always mailed them. Some people did what was asked and some people ignored them.
What
But-
we did in the past, I hand delivered a copy to the residents.
And it got
And we
And
mailed a
mailed them.
copy.
And
That's
I
fine
think
too,
you
so.
still need to go face to face.
Yeah, but if my understanding, you guys are gonna go talk to them and it's not actually going to be an official violation unless you come.
Say,
Unless you have
say
to
we'll
go
give
back.
you, we need to make note of it, and say we're gonna give you 10
10
days
days.
or something.
Yeah.
If this isn't correct in 10 days, we can come back.
Right. And that's pretty much in
That's
the,
what we did.
Yeah.
it's in the violation that way. So the way it's already written.
All right. You gonna got something else,
I
man?
do have something else.
Oh, no, don't tell me you got something else. Something bad?
No, well, not for us anyway. There is a family here in town. They have not, July 22nd was their first zero balance in 2 years. Reason being that the trustee came and paid them up.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't disconnect them, and she paid everything. Now, the trustee is only supposed to help you once every 6 months, and they have a limit to how much they can go. Well, they got help from the trustee in June, and that trustee, and she went the maximum that she was supposed to go. That township got a new trustee in July, and that trustee paid their balance in full, which really shouldn't have been done,
Mhm.
but it was. They have had help from, I'm gonna say this lady was in her 90s that came in and paid a very hefty sum for them. And they've had help from the church twice. Their water bill for the month of July, the one that is due right now, is $485.64. There are 16 people living at that residence because they agreed to let some, trying to help somebody out,
Mhm.
they let them come stay. It was supposed to have been for 2 weeks. It's been months. They're not going anywhere. They're trying to get them evicted. But they also have, according to their neighbors, 10 dogs inside the house. If they don't pay this $500, I really need to send them a disconnect notice. I mean, I know that's 30 days and not 60 days.
How did they get so far behind?
They're
Is this-
not,
I mean, before though, that the trustee had to pay, or is it just their bill was that much each month
no,
that they had, you know?
their bill, wasn't that much. These, and I mean, I can pass this around. They got, it looks like probably their July billing is where it got, well, here's one in April. But May and June wasn't excessive. January and February were estimated as to the
Mhm.
2 months before. Their bill is getting so high. One, they did have a leak in the beginning, and he says he has that fixed. But there's 16 people
Yeah,
living in that home and multiple dogs. So you got multiple families and animals. You're using a lot of water.
Yeah.
But I'm concerned on
How much it's gonna be?
it's going,
My next month will be $1,000.
yeah. And by the time the third month rolls around, they're gonna be at 1,500. So, how do you guys want that handled? I'm gonna tell you, they are not going to be able to pay this water bill. I don't know that I could pay that water bill.
I'm sure I
I
could.
mean,
Just soon as you can send a disconnect notice, that's legal.
well, it's our policy is what's legal.
Yeah, soon as, I mean, just follow the policy as soon as you can.
Well, that's 60 days.
Yeah. And I think if you have to, because that's what our policy is. I don't know if
Does
you,
any of them work? Are they disabled or?
Well, he's trying to get disability. I don't know. He said that they found him ineligible and he was trying to get. The wife works, but I don't think the
16 other
the
people work.
family that are staying there did work, but do not now. My understanding, they pretty much, after they got their tax check, they took a break.
Okay.
So
And I mean,
of these,
You know,
of
it's the
these
thing
4
about it is-
adults, only one works.
the thing about it is, you can't just let people keep taking advantage of these people. And if they're not trying to help themselves, then they need to be scared straight. Is what my theory is. They need to be told this is it. We can't let it
They
go.
have came in here and talked to me about payment plans. Well, they don't know if they can come up with that money or not. So the payment arrangement
Out the
doesn't get
door.
signed,
no.
and then the next month they come in and, well, that amount due is just going to keep going up because the amount you owe just keeps going up. And with $500 a month water bills, and the agreement is you have to pay whatever is currently due
Plus a little bit more.
plus 25% of the arrearage.
Yeah.
So
That's if I 5.5 or something for the
Yeah.
next month, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think, is there children?
yes, I only know of 4 adults, so that would leave 12 children
Yes.
and 10 dogs.
And I mean, they can't get any leeway from Child Protective Services because we've already been through that with the people that lived in Doris Landis's old house. As long as they got drinking water, that's all that makes any difference, right?
I don't know.
And that's the
These
way it
people are
was.
fixed for not having drinking water.
Yeah,
Huh?
they can go buy it at
Yeah.
a dollar store or from their neighbors
Yeah.
outside spigot, which seems to be the norm.
Yeah,
around
that's
here.
getting to be quite the thing.
Yeah, a lot of that going on.
There's a lot of it goes on at the
Mhm.
trailer across from you.
Yep, we get water there a lot.
Mhm.
See them all the time.
Pushing a baby stroller, keeping full of milk
Mhm.
jugs, or pulling a wagon, or
Yep.
whatever,
And you've seen them on a bicycle before, it's
Yeah.
gallon jugs.
and milk crates
Yeah.
strapped to the bike.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do something. I mean, is it this church that's helping them?
I don't know. I didn't. I
You
didn't
didn't go
ask.
into that with them.
Well, they pay in cash,
Oh.
and the ladies who comes, and I didn't. I don't ask their name.
But they started out helping those people that lived in Doris Landis's house until they took them to the cleaners.
Well,
And then that didn't go so well.
Some people would keep taking and taking.
since
It's like you said.
January, and this is just August, so in 7 months, the church has helped 3 times and the trustee twice.
And I'm sorry, there's other people just as capable of getting help as them, and that's causing somebody not else to get, maybe not as much help, but a little bit of help. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people in this town that does need help, but and then they're not helping themselves when they're letting 16 people live there.
They're supposed to be working on having them evicted right now. I don't know.
How long has that been? I only got to give them 30 days notice, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 22nd, the last week or so.
Well, by the time they get them evicted, there's going to be another big high water bill, right?
$1,000.
We get another whole cycle of water. Plus,
So, yeah. Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. We can't just let it go on. And it's too bad. I mean,
I mean, I hate.
maybe they get the water turned off, the hangers on will leave. And then they can work something out, but maybe
yeah,
not,
don't
I don't
know.
know.
But if we shut them off, that's another $50 charge.
Yeah.
To get them turned back on, that's an automatic $50. But at $485
and I mean, look how long
a
you've
month,
been carrying that on the book.
well, it's not been a zero balance in a long time.
And we can't do that. We have to run things too. I mean, we
Yeah.
have to pay our bills.
Yeah, they'll be a little tighter.
And I hate to do that, but
Where's that end? Like I said, they've already got help from everybody they could probably get help from.
right.
And I mean, you don't know what the situation is if they're just.
Those will be children involved too.
Unfortunately, that's how some people work. They work with the children involved.
I mean, that'll
Gets them to
still,
their goals.
even if we do 30 days late,
Mhm.
I mean, that's still, next billing's not till September 1st.
Yeah.
So
Give them time.
that's where they're technically
Yeah.
late, so. And then by the, you gotta add,
Yeah, you're gonna be
At least
another
a week.
Yeah,
so, we're talking mid-September, so I mean, that's gonna be, that'll be 2
$1,200
water bills at
something, yeah.
that point.
plus
And-
in the next, you'd be $1,200 or something probably.
So, I mean, I just,
And the thing about it is,
but
I mean,
if I wait 60 days, that's gonna be technically, that could be 3 bills.
Mhm.
And that's a lot.
And just send them a letter.
and there's no way.
Well, the first time is a letter.
And it's already been sent out.
No,
No.
no. Technically, they're not late yet.
I say when they're late,
Due date,
send them a letter.
due date is the 15th,
Yep.
and disconnect notices do go out at that point. So, but they're not 60 days late at that point.
Yeah.
So next month, when disconnect notices go out, they would be over 30 days
Yeah.
late.
Right.
So, but I don't want to wait 2 months
Yeah.
because, in all honesty, that's now 3 bills.
Yeah. They'll be in the next cycle, yeah.
So, am I making sense?
Yeah, we get you.
So, I mean, I don't want them to be $1,500 in the hole before I tell them, you gotta come up with all this money.
Right.
And if their bill is still gonna be $500, 25% of 1,500 plus 500,
That's a lot.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, do they own this property?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
I'm not 100% positive, are you? Well, if they own it, it's gotta be going into foreclosure because they've not had it very long.
No, you think same would go for like electricity and all that too, that they can't pay the water.
but
got
you know,
16
if we
people
don't,
there.
if we don't make an attempt, then who's to say they'll just not up and walk away and leave
Oh, they
us with
could,
the bill?
yeah. If they do get foreclosed on, they'll just walk away and you'll never get the money.
Right, right, and I
Yeah.
mean, we have
We've had
Yeah.
that happen before.
We have quite a few of those now.
Yeah.
I have made 2 attempts to the courthouse to get answers about who I can and cannot file small claims on.
Mhm.
I know on a lien I cannot put water, but I can put sewer.
That's weird.
So before I've got my answers, I've got called away and I had to leave, but one of them was to come and unload them.
The property is in there.
It is in their name, but it would, if they have, and they couldn't pay it outright, so they have to have a mortgage on it of some sort.
And if
So-
they can't afford to pay their water bill, the chances are they're not paying their home loan either.
But I don't know how to find
Right.
that out.
Yeah, homeown, the electricity.
Did you check on GIS or
GIS.
can you see if their property taxes were being paid? Her. And she only makes $1,600 a month. So we're getting help from somebody somewhere.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
So send it at 30 days and not
Mhm.
60.
I would.
Yeah. It's just not gonna get any better. And another thing is, we're coming up on fall and winter and there's gonna be whatever heating expenses they have. And, they're gonna take care of that first. And I can understand that, but still. But we've been caught too many times with people leaving a place and just walking out and leaving us with a big honking bill. And that don't go over real well.
No. Can't let it get out of hand. Let people build it up.
Okay. That
Okay.
Thanks.
We got a bunch.
Yes.
Now, why is it, somebody tell me, because I may be stupid, and I know I am, and I'm a woman. Why didn't we foresee this problem with these hookups on these meters before we got into this situation? Does anybody know why?
What do you mean, the problem? What problem?
With the hookups, because did they not realize that it wouldn't fit all the lines?
The gaskets that leak
Yeah,
on the install on the meters.
I mean,
Okay, the gaskets were not, the ones that came with the meter, my understanding, were not as good of quality. And they were having problems with some of them, so they are putting in a better quality gasket. So some of them, yes, leaked, but not all of them.
it just
So-
seems like we've had quite a few. That was just my,
Well, out of 300 or 280, and we've had a dozen. So I mean, that's not,
well, I didn't know because
That's
I
not
thought, well, they surely would have
horrible.
researched that they would have known.
the gaskets came with the meters.
Yeah, I knew that. But
But
I would have thought they would have researched that to look at the whatever, the graphics or
if you buy
whatever.
a water faucet, do you buy your own washers, or do you use what came with the water faucet?
Meanwhile, you answer that on Caterpillar engine parts. They use the gaskets that come in the kits, or you go out and get the best gaskets you can get.
Caterpillar.
But
I mean,
That's two different things though.
yeah, two different things.
but you know, they used what came with them, and some of them are problem free, and some of them are not. Which
Hard to tell why.
that's life.
Well, I
So-
just wondered because I
But
thought, well,
when-
this is so really
When they
weird.
when they had a couple that they had problems with at install,
Mhm.
that was when they just changed them all. So, but yeah, they're having some that are failing, and they're having to go back and take another look at it.
You would think it would be a universal thing, but
But-
maybe that's not.
I had leak detector training last week,
Oh.
which is another form of it that I haven't dealt with too much. But 280 meters that they have installed, it's only picking up 23 possible leaks. So
Do they check those just to see if those were any of those were
some
major?
of them, yes, they have.
Hmm.
All
A
of
lot-
them, all of them, no. But
Probably minor, but just if they
Um,
get lucky and find something big out
but-
of that.
Yeah,
some of them, homeowner calls in and says, there's no possible way, it's on my side, we've checked everything. And the guys have gone out and checked at the meter, and only, so far of those, only one of them was at the
Hopefully that
meter.
water tower overflowing is something,
that'd
like I
be-
said, maybe they cut, like I said, lower it down a foot or something. The way it won't
Yeah.
build up and overflow, but it's gotta be something, as many times people have seen it. You said it comes out there like a hydrant.
I'm not telling you not to look at those, but
Yeah.
there is on the back of that sheet right there.
All of them.
I mean, I'm not telling you not to. You look at whatever you want, but
No, I was just looking. There's a few things on.
I think on that sheet they're alphabetical. I think
I guess I should have looked at it, but
that's all right. I mean, that actually gives you a little more information than,
this one,
no, what she gave you, I think.
yeah,
Oh,
that-
this tells you what, yeah, this
Well,
tells, this is
that
the
does too.
invoices.
but it also has balances on one of those, I believe. anytime you guys want copies of those, I don't mind emailing them to you or what. Not these.
Yeah, that.
These. I don't have that much time.
No, I get it.
No,
Scan them in,
It's-
copy them, send them. Okay,
It's,
so who's gonna make a motion to approve claims?
I approve the claims
second.
Thanks, guys.
and the meeting is adjourned. Unless we got anything else.
No. I don't know, has
Did we
anybody ever
ever
talked
get-
about a meter for the gas station? Has that ever been brought up by anybody?
Not yet.
I was just curious about the other building, just for the money value for the town, about if they had 3 businesses in there, if they were gonna divide it up, or someone's just gonna pay up all the water and sewer, and then it'd be in their rent or whatever, but
All of these are drive-through things.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's not,
not a lot of water.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna have customers in
No.
there.
I was just thinking
Yeah.
for us, though, the more minimums, the better,
And it's
you know.
possibly the coffee shop and the pizza place.
Yeah.
And both of those places have one person. So, I mean,
Yeah. We still record or not?
Did you adjourn and
Yeah.
second
Yes.
motion?
Yep.
Good. I'll stop.